Have you ever seen a bottle of Jägermeister? If so, you've likely noticed a majestic stag with a glowing cross suspended between its antlers. It's an unexpected image for a modern liqueur brand, yet its origins lie in a powerful Christian story. That image is a reference to Saint Hubert, the master hunter whose life was forever changed by an encounter with Christ in the forest. Welcome to the Crown Palm Chronicles, where we tell the stories of the saints, martyrs, and faithful witnesses who shaped the history of the Church. I'm glad you're here for this first episode on Saint Hubert. This is the story of a nobleman, a hunter, and a saint. The man who came face to face with God while pursuing a stag on Good Friday. Saint Hubert was born around the middle of the 7th century, likely into Frankish nobility in what is now modern-day France. Raised among the aristocracy, Hubert enjoyed all the privileges of rank and wealth. He was educated at court, trained in the ways of nobility, and became known for his skill in hunting, a pursuit that defined both his identity and his reputation. As a young man, Hubert lived a life of worldly pleasure and ambition. Hunting was not merely a pastime for him, it was his passion. Like many nobles of his time, he delighted in the thrill of the chase and the prestige it brought. Yet beneath the surface, his life lacked a deeper spiritual purpose. Hubert married a noblewoman, and together they enjoyed a life of privilege. But tragedy struck when his wife died during childbirth. Devastated by grief, Hubert withdrew further into the wilderness, devoting himself almost entirely to hunting. What had once been a noble sport became an obsession, an escape from sorrow and loss. Little did he know that while he was hunting in the forest, God was quietly pursuing him. One Good Friday morning, while the faithful gathered in churches to commemorate the Passion of Christ, Hubert chose instead to ride into the forest in pursuit of game. As he tracked a magnificent stag through the woods, he drew near for the kill. But suddenly the animal turned and faced him. Suspended between its antlers was a radiant crucifix. Stunned and trembling, Hubert heard a voice from heaven.
Hubert, unless you turn to the Lord and lead a holy life, you will quickly descend into hell.
Overcome with awe and fear, Hubert fell to his knees and asked what he must do. The voice instructed him to seek out Saint Lambert, the holy bishop of his region, and learn what God required of him. This moment, a hunter confronted by the divine, marked the beginning of Hubert's profound conversion. Hubert obeyed the heavenly command. He sought out Bishop Lambert, who guided him in the faith and instructed him in the Christian life. Moved by grace, Hubert renounced his wealth and titles, distributing his possessions to the poor and dedicating himself entirely to God. He entered religious formation and was eventually ordained a priest. Years later, following the martyrdom of Bishop Lambert, Hubert was appointed his successor and consecrated Bishop of Liege around the year 708. From that moment forward, the former noble hunter became a shepherd of souls. As bishop, Hubert devoted himself tirelessly to evangelization. He traveled throughout the rugged and forested regions of the Ardennes, preaching the gospel and converting those who still clung to pagan beliefs. Hubert's ministry was marked by humility, holiness, and deep pastoral care. He guided his flock with wisdom and compassion, helping to strengthen the church and spread the Christian faith across the region. He is also remembered as one of the first to promote ethical hunting practices, encouraging hunters to respect God's creation and avoid cruelty toward animals. In this way, his life transformed the very passion that once defined him into a witness of faith and stewardship. His courage and zeal earned him a new title, not merely a hunter of animals, but a hunter of souls. Saint Hubert died peacefully on May 30th, 727. Over time, his story spread throughout Europe, and he became venerated as the patron saint of hunters, as well as a protector against rabies. The image of the stag with a crucifix between its antlers became a lasting symbol of conversion, a reminder that God often meets us in the ordinary moments of life and calls us to something greater. Centuries later, this powerful image would even find its way onto the label of Jägermeister, preserving the memory of a saint whose encounter with Christ changed history. Saint Hubert's story reminds us that no one is beyond the reach of grace. He sought fulfillment in the forests and fields, yet it was there, in the quiet of the woods, that he encountered the voice of God. His life was transformed not in a cathedral, but in the midst of his daily pursuits. Like Hubert, we may be surprised by where God chooses to meet us, and by how gently yet powerfully he calls us to conversion. May the witness of Saint Hubert inspire us to listen for that call in our own lives, and to follow it with courage and faith. If you found this story meaningful, consider subscribing to the Crown Palm Chronicles for more stories of saints, martyrs, and the history they shaped. Until next time, may you walk your path with purpose and remain open to the grace that seeks you.